Well, it's been a little while since I did a video, so I thought we'd catch up, see where we're up to. Look at that, just like that. The month and a half worth of work. The lower story is being constructed, all but the garage. So the garage is quite a big open space, so we thought we'd just leave that until we had the roof trusses ready to go. We'll build the top story first. This is the first time using J-frame, so yeah, I thought it was going to be like better than it was, but as far as straightness for every stick, that's brilliant. And I mean, you look down the wall there, 6x2 wall, it's brilliant. But the one thing I didn't count on was how much it swells. It's normal timber swells when it gets a little bit of moisture into it, because it's all dry frame these days, so all it's ever going to do is get bigger. But man, this stuff swells way more than I thought, which caused a few issues. So yeah, looking around the house here, like one wall was pushed it out 15 mils. So what tends to happen is the bottom plates here, see this one here, they tend to swell from 140 to the worst one was about 145, and there were 3 of those in on an intersecting wall, and of course it pushed it out at the end 15 mils, or it was about 13 mils actually, but yeah, that required a bit of, so I had to break some frames apart and trim them, which is yeah, a bit annoying. Of course, the other thing with it is with the blocks. So we put blocks in the back here to stop the the studs from twisting in or twisting out. But the 4x2 is not too bad. It only swelled a little bit, but the 6x2 was real bad. But the 6x2 actually pushed these apart, the 2 studs, so a little bit frustrating with that. So even though we planed them, I thought it might swell, but I planed them before I put them in, and it wasn't enough. So next time I'd run them through the saw and take 5mm off them before I put them in, and just sort of equidistance them. But I mean, the plus side is that everything's dead straight, and every stick you pull off is straight. You don't have to waste time sorting through which one's going to be studs, which one's going to go into wardrobes, and which one can we tie together with this one to straighten it all out. Yeah, so anyway, we've had a few issues with that. The other one was I thought I left it long enough to dry, but yeah, I normally leave all the end studs out. I went around and thought, oh yeah, that's all good, everything should be swollen by now, and went and put them in, and the new ones we put in just swelled just a little bit, and you probably wouldn't notice, but yeah, we do. So it sort of just pushed the wall, and it wasn't quite, had a couple of mil out of bend in the middle of the wall. I was like, oh my god. So we went around and put the straight edge on them, and took out the ones that were causing us problems. The other thing you'll notice is we've covered the lintels up with, or the top of them anyway, with some of their future builds from wrap, which is really good. So when these go together, we do a silicone on them, some PVC to seal them up, and that just stops the moisture getting in between them, and then swelling it even. So and in their book it says to cover them up. So we've screwed these together with 14 gauge screws in there. dimensions straight out of their future build book, and the right spacing. So yeah, quite happy with the high span. It's yeah, it's really good, nice and stable. It hasn't gone anywhere yet. We haven't covered that one up. It's yeah, together you can tell it's looking everywhere. Yeah, it's yeah, so it's looking pretty good. We're pretty happy with where we're at. The next step is we've gone around and braced everything up and plumbed everything up, and that's where we found the bends in the walls and stuff. I've gone around and put all the top plate connections on, and we're using SL 170 blue screws for the outside walls, or the ones that are the single story ones, and we'll use them up top as well. They're just they screw down into every stud and every jack stud, and that just saves you having to put nail plates on everything at the top. So we're still going to go and put lintel straps on and bottom plate connections and stuff like that. So yeah, and the other things are all bolted down. All the floors bolted down, max 900 centres. Yeah, use the blue bolts again, the M10 by 140s screws. Yeah, just gotta make sure you drill the hole deep enough and blow them out, blow all the dust out of them. Otherwise the bolts just bind up. And even though we did that, some of them still bound up, so we had to end up taking them out and cleaning the hole out again. But yeah, they're actually all right to put in. Around the doorways, you see we've double studded around the doors, so that's because we're having wider architraves around the door. I just wanted some additional fixing. Otherwise, yeah, the outside edge tends to not get fixed very well, only onto nogs. Yeah, the other thing with the nogs, see this one here, we obviously shot that one in with a nail gun, which is that's what it does. So we resorted to drilling, just drilled them, and yeah, so that these ones here have been drilled, and doesn't tend to, this stuff tends to split quite easily. So I think normal timber does that, but this stuff seems to be just a little bit, splits a little bit easier because it's obviously built up in layers. Overall, I'm pretty happy, and you know, first time using J-frame, so yeah, a few challenges, but yeah, you have the same thing with timber, especially 6x2, and the gauging of it. So the gauging of this is pretty good. There's a couple of sticks that have been a little bit out, but generally it's pretty awesome, unlike normal 6x2, which the gauging is yeah, abysmal. So we've had all the, like I said, yeah, we've got a few steel beams to go in. There's one to go across the span there, and there's a couple of others further out. So we've just had all those welded up, a mobile welding crowd, and yeah, they're all out here. Good to have the digger to lift everything around, because these things are about, the UB is only 37 kgs a metre, but that's enough. There's a few of the posts. There's 3 posts, the blue ones, hold up the sort of plates to hold up, go underneath these big beams here, and the UB that joins into the other beams, which you'll see later on. These 2 rusty things here with the end plates are a couple of wind beams that we've got a bolt in place, and they just go across, so right in the middle of the picture there, just off the edge of the timber is the stairwell, so that's got a wind beam across there, and the entrance as well, because they go up through 2 stories, quite a big gap with sort of nothing holding it together. So the wind beam goes sort of in the mid-floor area, can't quite make it into the mid-floor with the stairwell because there's a window comes through it, but we'll put the wind beam as high as we can under the window, which is nearly in the mid-floor. But yeah, these are our steel beams, all been welded up. Took a couple of days, bunch of great guys did that. And these ones here, the long one here, the PFC goes across the garage when we build it, and the bigger one underneath goes across the front of the family room. Yeah, I made up all the plates for them, and I cut all the steel up for them, so all they had to do was weld it, which is took me a bit of time. Don't know whether it saved me anything, but you know, I like that control of the process. The stuff here in the garage is all the mid floor, so that's to go up next. And there's all the rain we had last night, which was or some of the rain, which haven't yet quite drained out of the tarpaulin. But yeah, pretty happy. So a bit of a random update, sort of walking around randomly, but you sort of start to see the scale of it, and I think it's coming together quite well. Anyway, we'll do another update when we put the steel in and start doing the mid floor. Catch you next time.